Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boomerangst. I'm your host, Ray Moore. This is a series about issues affecting this country and the world, for that matter, seen through the eyes of the baby boomer generation. We are going to be, and pretty much are, the fastest growing population in this country, no matter what race you're talking about. We'll have the most money, the most medical bills, the most everything. And what we've seen about where this country is going makes me sick. And I've got a lot of company. So, this program tonight is about the economy. But let me backtrack for one moment on one final point related to my first program on education. It's got to do with illegal aliens now being able to go to school. Our illustrious governor here in the state of Illinois signed a bill called the DREAM Act recently. It allows illegal, undocumented children the right to go to school, even though it's through privately funded means. You know, the phrase illegal to me always meant against the law, and yet the government itself has had the illegal aliens or illegal undocumented people, whatever phrase they want to use, now bundled with the phrase rights for said group. Rights for illegal aliens? I'm sorry, I don't get it. If I jaywalk, I get a fine. If I blow a stop sign, I get a fine. I left my garbage cans out a day early because the holiday messed me up and I didn't know what day was what, okay? I got fined $30 for leaving the garbage cans out. Are these illegal, undocumented aliens going to worry about any of that? No, because they don't have a social security number or an address or anything. And now the children of these people who got here illegally or were born here illegally are now going to be able to go to school. They're taking up space and desks in an area that's supposed to be for naturally born and legally born children to this country. We're not the perpetrators of 9/11 in terms of who was on those airplanes. Students at one point in the United States coming here specifically to learn how to do something in order to hurt us. And now we're letting completely illegal and undocumented ones sort of follow the same path. I'm sorry, I'm not for it at all. Okay. Now we move on to the economy, and we're going to start at the beginning of what's going on in the news, because it starts here and goes way backward, but you know what? Backward is where we're starting. When the U.S. credit rating recently dropped, for the first time since they were doing this, 1914 or so, President Obama must be very proud. Not only was he arm wrestling and mud wrestling with Congress, now it goes out to the financial world and they say, you bad boy, you silly congressman, you two are arguing, and the final result is the United States credit rating goes kaflooey. Yeah, it's a baby boomer term, kaflooey. For want of a better one, which I'll probably get to in a little bit because I'll get angrier. But yeah, it's not good. Then the stock market again, for the second time in less than a week, dips 300, 400, 500 points, whatever it was. Everybody's money somehow, some way is tied into these things. And even if your money is not directly tied into it, your mortgage is, the money through the banks that you put your money in is, all of these other investment places are, your 401k, which is now a 101k, you know, all the money you try to sock away, which is now gone because everybody else has their fingers in it. They tell us, make your own retirement. We're not going to be responsible anymore. Okay? So you do, and what happens? Everybody else gets a piece of it, and you're left with nothing. I love it. We're still at 9% unemployment here in the United States. That's several million people out of work. Probably several tens of millions of people out of work. How does that work? How does that work out for you? Not well. Housing. Baby boomers have probably bought 3, 4, 5 houses in their lifetime. Never since probably the days of that Great Depression that we kept hearing about from our parents, which are 2 and 3 generations removed from the 20-somethings trying to find work now. not since then has the housing dollar been worth less every year. People are upside down in their mortgages. I never knew what that meant. Now I do. You owe more on your home than you could possibly hope to get for it from a sale, because it's not worth what it was. It's not worth the advanced amount that it's supposed to be. You're not making money on your house anymore. You're losing money on your house. People are walking away from their homes. They're saying, I'm leaving the furniture, I'm leaving the house, I'm leaving the yard, everything, walking away because I can't afford it. I'm paying money to a mortgage company, to a bank, and I will never, ever, ever, ever pay this off, and I can never hope to get what it's worth in order to break even. You used to be able to count on 5, 10 years. You could be in a home and then make money, make $10,000, $20,000 or more, unless it was a very, very big home to begin with. You could make a few $100,000 over the course of 5 or 10 years and turn around and buy something else, or buy a comparable house for less money and pocket the difference. Use it for your own financial growth. Now, you can't. You can't do a thing. And this affects jobs, because there are no people that should be building new homes. People that are building those subdivisions and new developments are walking away. You see half-done developments with bulldozers still in the parking lot, and people that moved into the first few homes, the streets aren't done, the trees are not there, there's no nothing. There's no sewage, there's no nothing. They moved in too soon, and they're in the middle of nothingness because the developments can't be finished. This affects the mortgage companies, the banks, and everybody else with their hand out to the government looking for money. There are industries that are dying or that are going through some big changes. Let's start with the auto industry, who have gone hand out again to the government when things went bad to get bailout money, all except, I believe, Ford. I don't think they did. But other companies did that, and banks did that. Mortgage companies, all of them did that. Now in Detroit, at least for an example, a while ago I saw this on the news, all of the companies that are not doing as much of the car building anymore, and all those auto workers that were put out of work, that are in their 40s and 50s and so forth, that have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years at the same plant, let's say, are now out of work. Well, what are they going to do? Dow Chemical apparently has some plants out there, and what they're doing is they're hiring these auto workers to make solar energy. It's a brand new industry that's gaining momentum with the windmills and the solar panels, and Dow Chemical apparently has some factories going where they're hiring these laid off auto workers and retraining them for these new jobs. Great. I'm glad to see that. But you know what? There's other industries that are having major difficulty in this country. It just ripples all over. The fast food. Fast food is making deals. They're competing with each other like they always have, but they're making deals. When do you think the dollar menu started? How long ago? And how many of the other competitors jumped on that and are using it? McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, White Castle. Well, White Castle's almost priced out of business anyway with 50, 60 cents for a slider. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm a baby boomer, and they used to be a nickel, but okay, inflation, I get it. But even so, fast food places are being forced to make deals. Regular restaurants, even chains to start with, not even the mom and pop restaurants or the specialty restaurants. Let's not even go there yet. The chains like Applebee's or TGI Fridays or Ruby Tuesdays, you name the franchise, they are all making deals. They're all giving coupons. They're all giving internet deals. So restaurants are being affected because everything they buy. First of all, people don't have money to go eat out at a restaurant. They can barely afford groceries to make their own food. If they can't afford to go out and eat, it's not going to be $20 and $30 and $40 at a time. They're going to find a way to spend $5 to $10 to $15 to go out, and that's fast food. So the restaurants are forced to compete, giving 3 and 4 course meals for $20. That's what's going on in this country. Let's talk a little bit about something closer to my heart right now and what we're in the middle of doing right now. Media creation. This industry has changed so drastically because the technology has gone so fast and far above what people are ready for and capable of. There's 3D camcorders for people to do movies and so forth. I can't wait for, like I said, the first 3D porn movie or the first 3D opportunity for somebody to videotape the honeymoon. You know, it's gotten really bad for people in my industry. We cannot make a decent living doing what we used to do. People with the skills for recording, for being camera people, for being lighting experts and audio and directing and editing and all the rest of it can be rolled into a couple $100 program off of an iMovie or something else like that. A kid can make a program, and what's going on, and forgive me for mentioning a particular list on the internet where jobs are found, but what's his name? I'm not going to mention any, names, but his initials are Craig. That list gets people that are asking for creation of media for a fraction of what it's worth. And the problem is people jump at it. Kids with a camera that they bought at a retail store can go and say, I'll do it for you for $75. They want somebody to do the work of a 10-hour day, plus bring their own gear, plus record it, plus edit it, plus give them, 100 copies for $75. We cannot make a living by doing something like that because our skills are far and away above the level that people are accepting. So it's trouble. There's a whole group, a whole subgroup of people, not talking restaurants, not talking auto workers, not talking anybody else, but those of the people of the media creation industry that are having a hard time making a living because everybody expects something for nothing. That's the new mantra of this country, something for nothing.